Hey, 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 what's up, everybody? Ow! It's time for some elite. I'm taking a week off of racing. I've been a little bit burnt out on the old racing, and so it's time to do some elite dangerous here. As you can see, I am very near a star. All right. I messed around in the beta just a little bit, but my main goal right now is to get to Colonia, and then when everything goes live, when the new version goes live, I hope to be in Colonia and all that. So I'm going to continue my odyssey, my trek, my push. I can't do that in the beta because if I do that, then whatever progress I make is not counted, right? So I want to make sure it's counted. Anyway, so here's where we be. 197 jumps to go. I'll show you where we're at on the galaxy map as we line up. So you can see there's Colonia, there the bubble, there's Sagittarius A. It's about 6,000 light years. So I'm gonna just knock out a bunch of jumps today. You can see the star field's getting really bright. Bam. Starfield's getting bright. It's getting pretty. We're getting closer and closer to the galactic core. I'm looking forward to getting to Colonia. Excited. Wristwatch check. It's necessary. Today it's the Nixon Sentry on the NATO strap. There we go. Got a NATO strap. Normally I use a brown leather band on this one. It's nice and classy. Dress it up, but I got this NATO. It's a Pepsi colored NATO because tomorrow coming in the mail is an SKX 009, a Seiko automatic dive watch that I'm super excited about. And I bought this NATO strap for that watch. It comes on a metal bracelet, but I bought it for that watch because of the color match. I think it'll be really cool. But the strap arrived today. The watch arrives tomorrow, and I just couldn't help myself but putting the strap on something. So I done did that. What we got today? Anything interesting? Anything cool? Anything wicked? No. Jumping. My last few swigs of whiskey that I have in the house. A little bit of bird dog. It's very southern sounding. I actually don't know where it's from. It's not Kentucky, so it's not bourbon. But I like whiskey. I'm a fan. A little bit of whiskey, a little bit of ice, dilute it just a tad, so it doesn't have quite all the bite. That's the way I like it. So please type into the chat. Let's have a conversation. This is going to be jumping and honking. So, oh my God, it's Tony. Tony's my second favorite human. No, hang on. I've evaluated all of the humans. Tony's my favorite human. What's going on, Tony? I could make jokes about Teslas and panel gaps and stuff, but frankly, I've done that the last two streams you've been a part of, and so I need to come up with new jokes. Can you help me out? Tell me something about yourself that's compromising. That you're ashamed of, but still willing to tell the internet. The whole internet, sir. Tony Woodside. I hope you like that new sim rig, Tony. The play seat, man, it worked well for me for a long time. It is a good chair. I tried to clean off the Alcantara. Not that it's bad. It just had, cats would fall asleep on it, so I was lint rolling it and stuff. But I probably should have run it through the washer for you. Well, yeah, that's embarrassing. I'm not sure I can take that further. Was the chimpanzee also naked, Tony? That's the real question, sir. There's a star. We're jumping and honking. Jumping and honking. 190 something to go. We're going to beat a Colonia. I swear it. And then I'm going to get there and be like, well, why did I do this? And the answer is, why not? It's Elite Dangerous. It's a big galaxy. Let's go check it out. 6,000 light seconds to a rocky planet. Nope. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I think chimpanzees always wear Speedos. Now, the top hat, I can respect that. That's fashion points. That's style points. I like it. Mike, you still driving the Lotus? Do you still suck?
I'm still driving the Lotus, and I don't know if I suck or...
That's my racing buddy, Mike Houghton. He's running Lotus 79 and Camel GT this week. I got a little dismayed last week. I ran 3 races last week: 1 NASCAR B Open, Camel GT, and then a Lotus 79 race. And the NASCAR B Open race is about a third way through the race. If you watched my stream, you would have seen that crash happened directly in front of me coming off turn 2 at Texas. And I slowed, I avoided, guy behind me turned me directly into the wreck. Can't blame him, but got caught up in someone else's crash. And then Camel GT went okay. I ended up finishing 6th in a really tough field, and that wasn't bad. But then Lotus 79, I was really excited. Belle Isle, great street circuit, great car, great sound. I practiced for probably 3 hours for this, less than an hour race. Felt pretty good. And had already gained like 3 positions about 2/3 of the way through the first lap, and then a track blocking accident happened in front of me, and I got rear-ended, which gave me suspension damage. So I got through the accident, and then the very next corner, or I guess 2 corners after, I got hard on the brakes, slammed straight into the wall. Car just wouldn't stop. So I left last week kind of saying, you know what? I think I need to take a bit of a break from the old sim racing. But there's whiskey and there's Elite. And I've got this thing called a family. It turns out if you don't sim race, you spend time with them. And I don't know. I'm experimenting. I'm seeing how that goes. The whole wife and child, if that's even a real thing, have dominated some of my time. Not to mention that employment thing. Of course, that's not healthy. I've just found myself working late. If I'm not racing, I pull out my laptop and I work sometimes. Nothing. This is a boring part of the galaxy right here. Well, you're in Nevada, Tony. Get some whiskey. Don't act like you can't get whiskey in Nevada. Don't tell me Reno's a dry county. You ever had a single barrel jack, Tony? It's good top shelf stuff. Or at least middling top. I mean, it's no Jameson. Well, wake up less. Has the wowness of it, the futureness of it worn off at all? Is it just a job now? Working at Tesla? When we first talked about it, you were talking about how it was just overwhelmingly modern and cool to be there. What we got left? 188 jumps. It's just like an overnight trip. You just need to carry on 188 jumps. This trip is convincing me I need to, when I get back to the bubble, I need to engineer. I need to get this thing up to 50, 55 light years. Because this was an 800 Uh,
208.1?
306.9. Oh, fuel. That was distracting, Mike. Yeah. I was like, why can't you comply? So the honeymoon isn't over, huh, Tony? It's not just a... Because I imagine the building is so big that it's like a city, right? You work in your pocket. Your car's parked as close as it possibly can be. And you don't really probably venture from your area to others. Is my guess. Correct me. But that's my assumption. Just based on how we humans tend to interact with the world around us. The built world. I wonder if that other star is close enough to scan. Park it there. Boom. Oh, no, it is not. 361,000 light seconds? Are you kidding me? That's like all the way across Rhode Island. Jeez. Well, we get to sit here and do nothing then. Let's go look at the galaxy map. Look at all those stars. My goodness. What a cool game. What a neat game for nerds. That's where I am. Except that's not where I really am. I'll show you where I really am. That's interesting. Why, when I type... There it is. So this little star here, it's called Sol. You may not be familiar with it. That is where I live. So around there, there's a little rock spinning around, doing its thing. It's called Earth. Somewhere around here is Wolf 359. Okay. This is an important place. A big battle happened here. The Borg, they came in. They blew up some stuff and said, you know what? We're coming to assimilate Sol. And they just about did it, you guys. You should be... Those of you in the 25th century, yeah, watching this for posterity, because obviously my YouTube streams are going to be watched for millennia to come. You should be appreciative of the work that the fine crews of the Federation of Planets, Starfleet, did that day to take care of you guys. Benjamin Sisko, his wife died. It's very tragic. Boom. Let's go. We got gas now. So, Tony, break it down to me. You're in the machine shop. I mean, are you stamping out the same part over and over? Or are you doing design and initial fabrication? Are you solving new problems, or are you assembling already designed pieces? How's it working? I have to assume a man of your talents has been put to work solving new problems. But then again, I don't know. You woke up naked in a chimpanzee enclosure one time, so who knows? Maybe the chimpanzee designs the parts. And you just, yes, sir, I'll build it, sir. Yes, sir. And he's like, oh, Who's the mole monkey? The monkey or the monkey that monkeys him? Do you have a lathe? I haven't gotten to use the word lathe all day, so that gave me an opportunity. So, the question the whole internet wants to know is, do you have a lathe at the Tesla machine shop? Bet you the guys at Ford have a lathe. Bet you the guys making the Nissan Leaf have a lathe. Bet you Chevy has a lathe in the Volt Gigafactory. The Gigavolt factory. But not the Bolt factory. No. Psst. Losers. This is the hyperspace button finger. Ha ha. It's the most powerful button in sports, kids. Machining components for prototypes mostly. Oh. Whatever, you've got multiple mills and lathes. I don't buy it. Is your lathe hand cranked? I bet it is. Bunch of primitives. Bunch of losers. I still want my car to be a Tesla. My next car to be a Tesla. Can you hook me up? I want the fastest Model S you offer. I know you got a Model X. I can appreciate that. Doors are cool. But I want an S. 3's neat, but I want an S. Is that a what? No. I thought that was a water world orbiting into the planet. That's a water world, but I'm going to skip it. I don't want to go that far. Mike, Tony's lying to me. He says that Tesla has multiple mills and lathes, and I think it's a lie.
What?
Tony's making it sound like Tesla's cool, and it isn't.
They haven't been to Mars yet, so they suck.
Ah!
Right?
That is true. They have not been to Mars yet, yes.
You sounded like the moon watcher there for a second.
Ah!
Yeah.
Did I even honk? I don't even know if I honked. Oh, there's a gas giant. How close is that? Too late to find out. We're leaving. Oh, that would be the coolest. But it's not going to happen anytime soon. So the startup, all right, we've been finding a lot of success lately at Whiteboard. It's definitely coming along.
Brett says hi.
What's happening, Brett Alt? How you doing, man? Sorry, simultaneous streams. Mike's racing, for any new viewers. Mike's racing while I'm playing Elite Dangerous, so there's two competing things happening there. Anyway, yeah, Tony, the Whiteboard has been good. We've made a lot of good changes, gotten a lot of traction. I don't know if I told you, we closed our Series A financing, so that's nifty. So we've got a lot of runway now. But yeah, we're still not profitable. You know, that's kind of a standard part of being a tech startup. And hell, you know that, being at Tesla. But we're inching our way there. I think that we'll be profitable mid-time next year, mid 2019. And once that happens, I'm going to go to the CEO, the principal investor, and my boss. And I'm going to tell him, oh, listen, I'm running 3 divisions. It's time for a raise. And then I'll finally be making that Woodside money. Here it comes. And when I'm making that Woodside money, then we're talking Model S. Meantime, I've actually been thinking a lot about getting rid of my Charger, right? I like my car. It's probably the best car I've ever had. Wow, that's a lot of planets. What do we have here? I want to go see that. Nope. I want to go see that. Hang on. Is that an Earth-like with... Rings? No, that's not an Earth-like. I'm going to go look at it anyway. Detour, road trip. How many jumps we got? 182. $5,000 light seconds. That's not too bad. Yep. It's exciting gameplay right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fly straight and level. However, my joystick's in this region. Okay, see this hand? See this hand? Joystick's in this region. So I might rotate thusly. I might even pitch. I might yaw. You never know. Now, while my hand's out here, you can rest assured that nothing's going to happen. But I might move it rapidly and make a change to the attitude of my spacecraft. So that's where the suspense is going to come into play here. I'm going to sit back, I'm going to relax, I'm going to drink my whiskey, I'm going to enjoy myself, and I'm going to make movements. And you're going to be like, oh my God, is he going to turn the ship? And I'm going to be like, maybe, maybe not. You just find out, peasant viewer. You'll find out when the ship does this. Ah! It's back on track. No big deal. I was in control the whole time. You guys got all scared. And here I am. I'm totally... Ah! See, that's suspenseful YouTube streaming. They don't allow that sort of thing on Twitch. It scares the children. It scares them. Man, look at all those stars. Camera view. Look at all the stars. God, that's pretty. That is what I love about this game. And it's neat, you know, if I look, like, I'm going to back off the ship here. Alright, so there's my ship. And if you look, you know, the sky's broken up. Heavy, heavy star field. Less dense, more dense, right? And it's the galactic plane. If you think about it, oh, what's my distance? I've been screwing around. Oh, crap, hang on. Slowing it down. Excuse me. We'll scan that mamma jamma. Well, the good news for me, Tony, is that it doesn't have to trickle far. I am, you know, if I'm ever going to really make it, you know, this is my shot. It's my shot to do it. My role is so intertwined throughout the company and its responsibilities. It's a high metal content world. And it's just like, if we fail, frankly, it's because I failed. That's how pivotally I'm involved right now, which is a huge responsibility. I mean, I've got people counting on me now, employees. So it's huge, but I think I'm up to it. I was really bummed when the whole Seattle thing fell apart, that Philo deal. When that fell apart and they lost their funding, and man, I was wrecked. I was like, well, there went my chance. But Whiteboard has turned into the chance. I got lucky. Things worked out to where I fell into the position that I am, and I really have the buy-in of the CEO now, and I'm able to, oh, whatever. The success is up to you. That's whatever. I got to hire good people. I'm actively hunting right now for a killer salesperson and a killer sales ops person. I've managed to do some trimming of the fat, and I've hired some great success coaches. So onboarding and implementation is coming together. Churn, man, I've improved churn. My team has improved churn from 60% attrition to 40%. I'm sorry, to 90% retention. So a massive swing on churn. Sales are up, retention's up, MRR's up, ARR's up, ACV is up, LTV is up. So all the right metrics. I should stop talking about business, shouldn't I? That's boring YouTube. Just goes to show that gamers aren't sweaty teenagers in mom's basement. They're success people. Success people who drink whiskey and wear blue shirts. Today I was wearing an elegant blue shirt with a very fine shawl collar sweater, I think it is. Not a Cosby sweater, no sir. Man, if I needed a CNC programmer, I'd have to figure out what kind of software that is. Get it down to 2 minutes flat, Mike, or you're not invited to my wedding. Tony, did I tell you that I'm going down to Texas? I'm going to Houston in a few weeks here to visit a customer, do a training for a customer of ours. And I'm going to be meeting up with Mike. He said he's going to buy me all the best Mexican food somewhere called Taco Bell. Here comes the finger. Jump finger. Now check the joint, check the joint. Anything cool? Nope, go. Meow. Man, I was in San Diego a few weeks ago for a trip, for a business thing. And I went to a place, so one of the guys I was traveling with had lived in San Diego for over a decade. So he knew all the best joints. And we went to this ghetto, authentic Mexican place. But you know what I'm about to say, right? The best Mexican place is ghetto Mexican place. And what was it called? Mijas Tapas? Milas Tapas? Cuatros Tapas? I'll look it up. Hang on, I'll look it up. But went to this Mexican joint, and I mean, it's the full story, right? A homeless guy while we're waiting in line outside. First off, there's a line outside. The food's good enough to have a line outside at 11 a.m. And then while we're waiting in line, a homeless guy walks by and urinates directly in front of the front door of the restaurant. So that's an experience. And then we get in there and we order our food, and it's this amazing, like, sort of, not red beans and rice, that's wrong, but there's some sort of soupish thing that was like red beans and rice, and then it had tamales in it, which dissolved and sort of started to taste like cornbread. And oh god, it was so good. Let me look up the place. Facebook. 'Tis on the Facebooks. Las Cuatro Milpas is what it's called. Downtown San Diego. Near downtown San Diego. It's pretty freaking amazing. Ah, that's what she said. My brothers think I'm pretentious. That said, my brothers don't know what pretentious means. They're swine. Wow, okay, what we got here? Jesus. What's that line from Contact? If there's nothing out there, then it's an awful waste of space. Can you imagine? All right, when we think about all the craziness of our little planet and our little concerns, and we get stressed about our stupid little things, about moving little pieces of paper around, and somewhere out there there's a planetary system, a stellar system that's got 60, 70 bodies in it that don't have life. I mean, how small are we? I love that about this game. This game makes me think celestially. It makes me think on a large scale. Oh, I already looked. I like that about Elite Dangerous. It's a scale game. It's a perspective game. Oh, throttle up. It's a throttle up game. Mike, have you decided which fancy Taco Bell you're going to take me to when I come down to Houston?
Yeah, your mama.
Mama Bell?
It's called beef in your taco.
I hope it's shredded.
Diced.
It's full of stars. And, alright, watch the fast fingers. Booyah! See that? I'm a nerd. I type 80 words a minute. Sucker. Sucker! Sucker! At the scale model out in the desert. Oh, I've seen some stuff. I think Brian Cox did that one time. He's a British physicist. I saw something else recently. I do not know the channel name or. Oh, hang on. Earth-like alert. Oh, okay. I didn't actually trigger the FSD. Let's go back to the system map there. What do we got? Earth-like alert. Yeah, undiscovered. Well, it's only 150 light seconds. Well, this is a really tight system. Let's just go ahead and discover this whole system. We're gonna do a little flying around here, flying and scanning. But anyway, I saw a video the other day that was playing on. We've all seen those videos on YouTube that have, you know, the star and then it zooms up to another star, but the original one goes down a notch, and then the scale changes basically, right? So you have Sol and then Arcturus and Betelgeuse and so on, and it continues to change the scale, trying to magnify, trying to relate the scale of different stellar bodies. What I liked about this video was this guy. Wow, look how close this is. This guy did the same kind of thing,
You feel like eating, Benny Boy.
but using the same scale over and over. And so he used a tennis ball as Earth, if I remember correctly. Uh-oh, too fast. Hey, I got it. All right. Used the tennis ball as Earth and then used that consistent scale as he went up to very large stars. Hang on, I gotta answer Mike.
Ben, you motherfucker.
What?
What do you feel like eating?
Well, I don't know today.
No, I mean when you come over.
Well, I won't know then. I mean, I assume that there's
a first date.
I assume there's an Olive Garden.
Remind me of first dates back in the day. I don't know. What do you want?
Surprise me! If you love me.
We get to the place and then you're like,
I'm just saying, if you want magic to happen that night, then you have to surprise me. I don't know. When I think about going to Texas, I think about good Tex-Mex or good Mex, right? So those are the things that pop into my head. But I will eat lots and lots of things. I hate tomatoes, and I'm not huge on seafood, and I despise Indian food. So those are my qualifiers. So just like what's a good joint? Tony's asking how far you are from Baytown, and I'm assuming that that's not a real place.
45 minutes, maybe. That's where I used to go from my flight school.
You mean like in Top Gun?
Right, like Top Gun. They gave me the flight suit and the aviators.
You know, the hotel that I stayed at in San Diego a few weeks ago was right down the street from the bar where Goose was playing the piano
Oh
with
yeah,
Meg
you told
Ryan.
me. Is that place still there, or is it something else?
No, it's still there. It's got like a big Top Gun neon sign in the window. They play it up. 45 minutes, Tony, if you didn't hear that. How many planets have I done here? System map. One more to the Earth-like. I'm going to turn this old camera thing. There we go. Look at that hand. Look at that hand. Read my palm. Now I'm centered. That's YouTube fame. Instantly. Send your checks to Oklahoma. Just anywhere in Oklahoma. I'll find it. Sawgrass Grill. Tony, have you ever been to Hard 8 Barbecue in Dallas? That is life-altering barbecue. And not just barbecue. They have they have a ribeye steak there that I swear could make me religious. It is gobsmackingly amazing. Come on, scan, so I can pitch. Scan so I can pitch. Rotate. All right, what's next? Oh, I don't want asteroid fields. I don't want asteroid fields. Yes, I want a planet. This time we'll approach it with a little less relative velocity. Yeah, right, Tony? Hard 8? Oh my God. Anytime I have a reason to drive through Dallas, it's like I know what I'm going to do that day. You know, there's no doubt as to where lunch or pass through dinner or whatever is going to happen. It's going to be Hard 8. Line, don't give a damn. I'm going through the line. I'm going to have me some Hard 8. I think the only time I broke that rule, I was down there for a conference. Oh, I don't know, a few months ago I was down there for a conference, and it was sort of a time constraint thing where we just sort of needed to get on the road, needed to have lunch and get on the road. And Hard 8 I knew would be more of a detour. And so we decided to go to this. It was weird. There was a place called L.A. Burger near our hotel in Richardson. There was a place called L.A. Burger, and I was like, whatever, fine, let's have a burger. We show up, and it's actually a Korean burger fusion. And now that sounds weird, right? But it was freaking delicious and crazy affordable. I want to say I took a team of 3 people, 3 of my employees there, and we spent $40, between the 3 of us, $45, and had beers too, so it was super affordable and really, really good. So if you're ever in the Richardson area looking for a burger, look up LA Burger. I recommend. Is that the Earth-like? Hang on. System map. Booyah. Did I get the Earth-like? Yeah, I did. Okay. At some point. Didn't pay attention. Okay, that's all I want. Let's get back on course. Reset to the route. Hit the button. Didn't even stop to look at the Earth-like. That's how focused I am on the goal. We're going to Colonia. Fools. Bitches. I said, bitch. Hmm. Pitching. All right. Explain the in and out phenomenon to me. So I never went to one in California. So I'm going to grant you for a moment that that may be the thing that I've done wrong. But I've been to an in and out. And, okay, it's a fast food burger. Okay, they've got a secret menu. That's a gimmick. Special fries are just kind of almost burnt fries. So someone please explain to me why anyone gives a damn about In-N-Out Burger. Why is that a special thing? I'm tired, I guess. I worked hard today. I'll check my Nixon Sentry on the NATO strap. Let's see. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock here. 28 plus 8. That's 1,703,049 bodies. None of them are interesting. Wah wah. There is an In-N-Out Burger in Dallas, though. Not here, though. Not in Oklahoma City. Hey, speaking of Oklahoma City. Oh, hang on. They're all the same. They're only special because... Oh, yeah, I bet. Oh, is there a bunch of them in Nevada? Convenient scan. If it slows down in time. If not, no worries. Get it. 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 Ah, I got my dollars. Ah. So they got a bunch of In-N-Outs in Reno. Listen, I know you work at the Gigafactory and you work for one of the most cool companies in the world. I mean, Tesla, I work at Tesla. That's a James Bond freaking statement, right? Like, I work at Tesla, shaken not stirred. That's cool. I work at the Gigafactory is less cool, but it's for real. That said, it's like I work in Reno is like saying I work in Jersey, right? Isn't it basically the New Jersey of Nevada? And this is coming from a guy who does not like Vegas. I don't. Not even a little bit. I like the desert. Oh, shit. But Vegas, nah. Its trappings do nothing for me. All this stimulating conversation, and I don't get fuel. But does Reno generally suck, or does it just have a bad rep? Or is it just like any other city? I was in Seattle a while back, and I remember the CTO's wife of the company I was there for, the CTO's wife, asked me where I was in town from. And I said, Oklahoma City. And I mean, she was aghast. She says, you don't look like you're from Oklahoma City. And I'm thinking, what does that mean? What does someone who looks like they're from Oklahoma City look like? And I ended up having to show her my driver's license to prove that I was from Oklahoma, that I had a central Oklahoman address. And there's this misconception that I guess everyone in Oklahoma rides a horse to work. It's a fine metropolitan city. 600 light seconds. Binary star system. Or trinary? Let's trinary star system with most of the planets around the third star way the hell far away from me, and all giants except for that little guy. But we're not going to worry about that. We're going to get our fuel and move on. Little rotation. Don't get sick. Traffic makes... Oh, so the traffic's not bad at all? That's cool. Is it pretty? The desert can be pretty. Vegas is generally ugly. It's got some nice horizon mountain stuff, but I've just never been to Reno. But it's always felt like the other city in Nevada, you know, so it just seems to have this Jersey reputation. Man, I guess that's true. Tahoe's really close to there. Huh. It's funny how relative reputations can be so misleading. It's a deep stream. Confucius himself watches. Also, the whiskey was good. It's gone now. There's no more of it. But it's good. Come on, fuel. Get in there. How many jumps we got left? Man, I've done less than 30 jumps during this stream. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Fuel scooping complete.
Is your family still back in Indy, Tony? And you're just remote from them right now, or did everyone move out with you? I need to turn on in-game music. Jeez, what am I doing? In the meantime, it's time to make the pizza. You can't stop my moves. You got nothing on my moves. Barrel roll. Fuel scoop barrel roll. So many jumps. Alright, let's do the old look real fast. System map. Stars and one rogue little Rocky. We'll turn on the in-game music. It's actually a wonderful soundtrack. You like those cherry key sounds? That's supposed to be desirable. And I'm such a cool guy. Does everybody like it there? Kids digging it and all that? The wife hasn't found like a lounge singer to latch on to? Be careful, there's Robert De Niro's out there. Just saying. Oh wow, so it's kind of a compact city then. That's one thing about Oklahoma City is that everything's 20 minutes away, but to drive across the city is an hour-long drive. I live in the northwest part of Oklahoma City, and so if I want to go to the Warren Theater in Moore, it's 40 minutes. The Filipino restaurant in Midwest City near the Air Force Base is 40 minutes, you know? But within your bubble, within your little area of the city, everything's 10 to 20. I can't imagine driving across the whole city in 20 minutes. It's nuts. It's bananas. Bananas, as they say. As they say. Bananas. Another jump. Make it so. Number one. And pitch. There you go. That's elegant. You can tell I've been trained by the best. Yeah, I bet. Indy's a bigger MSA, as they say in the statistics biz.
Fuel scooping.
It's the biggest little city in the world, man. Sounds like you're bought in. That's cool. It's nice when someone moves to a new city and identifies with it and doesn't begrudge it.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
When I worked for Dell, one of the things that I hated about it, and I liked Dell, not a bad place, but one of the things I hated about it was there are people from Austin, where Dell's headquartered, right? And Austin is one of those cultish cities. Yes, it's cool. Yes, it's the nicest part of Texas. Yes, politically, I would align most with the people in Austin as opposed to, say, the people in Houston or San Antonio or whatever, right? So if I were to move to Texas, yeah, Austin's on the list, sure. But the people from Austin that moved to Oklahoma City to work for Dell in Oklahoma City, they spent all their time demeaning OKC and praising, I mean worshiping at the altar of Austin. And it was so annoying and so pretentious and just ridiculous. And I hated it. Yeah, okay, I did do that. So Austin, you're cool. Your people kind of suck sometimes when they're transplanted. Actually, right now I'm listening to an audiobook called Boomtown, written by some guy. I'll get you a name. Let's see. Some guy. Pitch.
Fuel scooping.
Go to the old library here. Come on, Audible. I need details.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Details. Jesus. Sam Anderson. There we go. So anyway, Sam Anderson, if I understand it correctly, is a right Scientologist. Yeah. Or vegans. Or Scientologist vegans. But anyway, this guy Sam Anderson, from Seattle, comes to Oklahoma City in 2012 during the whole James Harden, will he stay or will he go NBA shenaniganry, right? And, he's from Seattle, so he's got instant animosity because we straight up stole their NBA team. And he's a sports writer, so he shows up in town, does some interviews and stuff. But while he's here, he sort of notices that it's sort of its own quirky, unique place and not just some random flyover Midwestern city, especially given its origin story with the land run. And so he spends a little more time here and ends up writing this book called Boomtown about the founding of Oklahoma City and also about the Thunder, which is an interesting dual lens through which to look at the city. And I've been enjoying it. It's written with a bit of a snarky sense of humor. It's an enjoyable piece of nonfiction now that I finished Chernov's Hamilton biography, which was an odyssey of a book. It's huge. It was huge. I'm trying to think of what's next. I've got a pile of books that I need to read and listen to. I'm reading Kim Stanley Robinson book now called New York 2140, which is near future sci-fi. It's enjoyable. It's very economics driven, as in the economics of post-catastrophic flooding New York and coastal society. Imagine the world 130 years hence or so, I guess now 120 years hence, after the climate change has melted away our coastlines and cities have had to reinvent themselves as Venice. Anyway, so it's interesting. It's too many characters, but we'll see how it plays out when they tie together. Contact lenses is starting to bother me. Jumps to go, 164. The goal tonight, 150. We want to get it down to 150. In Austin, we have 6th Street. And in Austin, we have cool things. And in Austin, we have man buns. We put our hair in little buns on our heads. And we wear flannel and suspenders. Yes. And even though we are not lumberjacks, we grow lumberjack beards. Yes. Because we are from Austin, Texas. Austin. I think that was fair. Yeah, that wasn't over the top. That was pretty good, Austin. Yeah. Hope my viewers...
Still playing Elite?
No, but I am playing Elite.
Okay.
Sounds like you're still driving a Lotus.
Yeah. Can you hear it?
Yeah, anytime you key your mic. Tony, listen. The man bun, though, not cool, right? Well, we can agree on that. We're a civilized society, right? We don't eat each other. We're not cannibals. We're generally Judeo-Christian ethic of thou shalt not kill. I mean, well, it is Texas, so maybe not. But anyway, we're generally a relatively peace-loving society of modern humans, and I think we can all agree that the man bun has no place in that society unless you're 19th century samurai, which is not this society. So, and even then, it's called a top knot. It's way cooler. So that's the new question. Question of the day for the stream: is the man bun the modern equivalent, the hipster modern equivalent of the samurai top knot? I challenge you. Give me an answer. Go, go, go. Forth, conquer. It's your job. I mean, it's a controversial topic, this whole man bun versus top knot thing. It's if it had the publicity, all right, if there were lobbyists behind this question, it might reach the feverish pitch of, is a hot dog a sandwich? I don't know that it would reach that pitch, but I'll tell you, I have a position. Yes, hot dog's a sandwich. It's meat. It's bread. There's sandwiching happening by design. So, hot dogs are sandwiches. Suck it up. If you don't like it, you just freaking deal with it. I should have scanned that star. I'm a damn fool. Leatherman. He didn't have a top knot, though, did he? Young man. Dot, dot, dot. I don't know the words. I said, young man. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. It's fun to stay at this star here in Elite. the hyperspace finger right there. This finger can break the speed of light. It's just a star. Ha! Man bun supporters. Is that a thing now? Man bun supporters? It's like 6 rungs above Trump supporter. You can't get much lower than Trump supporter. You could be Catholic priest. That's lower than a Trump supporter. You could be Jerry Sandusky. That's lower than a Trump supporter.
Fuel scooping.
But man buns are several rungs higher. Yeah. And here comes the finger. Booyah. What we got? That looks like an ammonia world. It's only 267 light seconds away. I want to find out. Because if I'm not mistaken, that's an ammonia world. And if it is, I think they're worth some extra credits because of the Thargoid connection. So we're going to check it out. We're going to check it out. Bernie Madoff? You know, if Bernie had ripped off Trump, I would rank Bernie a few steps higher. They're both... Oh, no, okay. I'm going to rank Bernie Madoff as a higher quality person than Donald Trump. And I'm only going to do that because they're both shitty people and scammers. But Bernie Madoff was a good one. Trump is so transparently bad that I wouldn't buy a used car from him. I think Bernie could scam me. But because Trump is so transparently terrible, it further boggles my mind that anyone can listen to him and say, what he's saying makes sense. Without literally drooling so hard that they drown themselves. I don't understand it. That's right, politics. That's what this stream is about. Politics. It's a good thing the midterms are over, so that's not on my mind anymore. Don't debate me, Tony. I'll fight you. We all knew Trump was Trump. If we all knew Trump was Trump, then why didn't we vote for another piece of crap, right? Or why didn't we vote for a reasonable person like Kasich, right? If Trump was Trump, why did he make it through the primaries? I lost a steak dinner bet because that chump made it through the primaries. I was like, buddy, James, there's no friggin' way that the American people are stupid enough to advance him beyond the primaries. And man, was I wrong. The American people are that stupid. And the amount of never Trump Ted Cruz supporters and Kasich supporters and Rubio supporters and hell, even Ben Carson. There were people who were totally on those trains 100%. But the second that Trump was the only red horse, they were all over it. And that's not a reflection on Hillary Clinton. I mean, there was a third-party candidate. Was he perfect? No. No, Gary Johnson was not perfect. Not by a long stretch. But you talk about the least of all the evils. He got my vote. I wasn't going to vote for Clinton. She's as reprehensible a career politician as they come. A very flawed candidate. So she didn't deserve my vote. But had Johnson not been on the ticket or been an option, I would have absolutely voted for Clinton, no doubt. If I lived in a state where my vote mattered as a non-Republican, I would have voted for Clinton. I would have held my nose. And I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent, you know. If it weren't for Sarah Palin, I would have voted for McCain instead of Obama. I liked his policies. But I just won't vote for an idiot.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
How many jumps? How many jumps? 8 to go. Bernie Madoff. Man, I hadn't heard that name in a bit. He's serving prison now, right? I wonder if he's warming up a bed for Donald. I wonder if
Fuel scooping.
the so if I understand it correctly, constitutionally, the pardoning rules do not preclude the possibility of the president pardoning him or herself. And I wonder if Mueller actually does, come out guns blazing and legitimately prove that Trump's campaign colluded with Trump's knowledge with Russian interference. All right, and I know that's speculation. It may not be true. All right, and I don't want it to be true. I do not want the sitting president to be impeached. I want him to get voted out in 2 years. But I don't want him impeached unless he's truly done wrong. And if he has done wrong, will he pardon himself? Will he not at least have Nixon's grace? It was the last time you heard the term Nixon's grace to step down from office. Not that I want a Vice President Pence to take over. My God, what a scary, regressive idiot he is. No, not idiot. Wrong word. He's a smart man. He's just regressive to a dangerous degree. But I don't know. Is Trump so corrupt, so bereft of honesty that he would pardon himself? It's interesting. I'd be interested to hear what a constitutional lawyer said about that. To listen, see if there's an episode of Trump Con Law on that. I'm gonna have to refuel one more time to hit my 150. Oh man, Tony. So I don't listen to Joe Rogan, so I'm not terribly informed on what you're talking about. But so he's arguing that there's a that a council of experts is to head up the different areas. I'd need to hear that fleshed out before I formed an opinion. My initial reaction, though, is negative. I mean, in software design, for example, crude example here, but in software design and on cars and all kinds of stuff, right? The Pontiac Aztec, the Pontiac Aztec is a thing because of a, designed by committee, right?
About a second slower than the top guy in here.
Ouch, man.
And he's not even the fastest guy.
Double ouch, man. Is he getting draft?
No.
So anyway, designed by committee is
Like,
what I was.
I'm running
Here
low
comes Mike.
207s, and he said that the aliens in this weather running 203.
Well, don't worry about aliens. Worry about top tens.
So I don't know how they do 203.
Okay. So a council of experts. Is that not what Congress is? Elected experts who then appoint committees of more refined experts, and it's total gridlock all the time because of A, lobbying, B, party affiliation and identity politics, right? So there has to be a decision maker at some point, whether you like him or not. And I despise Donald Trump, but at least he can force a stop to gridlock. And in the same token, Barack Obama's in office and he can force through, he can ram healthcare down your throat, but at least get it done. If it's designed by committee, you end up with either nothing or the Pontiac Aztec. And so I'd have to hear Rogan out. I'd have to listen to the proposal in more detail before I truly made up my mind. My initial impression, just based on what you called it, I can't imagine me being on board with it. I really can't. And I don't know why Joe Rogan matters. I guess his podcast is like one of the most listened to, but I've never heard it. Isn't that the cabinet? Oh, I guess, okay, so the cabinet's appointed based on the political affiliation of the president. So you're saying basically instead of having the figurehead, the single point of accountability, we all vote for cabinet members, heads of departments, without a shared agenda. It's interesting. I'd have to think about that. I don't think I have anything smart to say about it right now.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Vote for the cabinet. Did I honk? Vote for the cabinet. Okay, not that this is a bad thing. I would have to become much more learned on housing and urban development. I would have to become much more learned on medicine. Think about the Surgeon General. Think about the HUD. Think about the Department of the Interior. The amount of... This isn't a bad thing. I mean, I'm just thinking it through, thinking out loud. One of the things that I feel like modern culture, while it's gained a lot, it's lost also. One of the things so right now I'm in my office, and in my office there are race car die casts, there are awards, there are 2 computer monitors, a gaming rig, a racing rig, an Oculus Rift, a smartphone, a laptop. There's stuff in here, right? But this isn't a study. Right, I don't have a lounge chair in here with a lamp that I use for reading history and nonfiction and politics and science, right? I do have a place like that in my house, but there once was a staple in a gentleman's house where he studied language, studied philosophy, and we've lost that. We study sports now, right? We study gaming, we still have intellectual pursuits. They're just not about intellectual concepts. They're not betterment of the world, betterment of myself. So, I say all that to say this, that in a Victorian society, a 19th century society even, I wonder if an electing the cabinet thing would have made more sense when voters were more focused on learning for the sake of learning.
Fuel scooping.
It's interesting. I wonder if there would simply be equally uneducated voters, or if there would be a learning renaissance where people actually went out and learned about the subjects they were voting on. My cynicism says the former. One of the things that I've always appreciated about Barack Obama, John F. Kennedy, Ronald Reagan, was their eloquence, their gentlemanly nature, their ability to walk into a room and command its respect. Whether I agreed with their policies or not, all the time. Yeah, I appreciate a good leader. And a leader has a decisive agenda sometimes. Eisenhower had that. Roosevelt, both of them had that. Truman had that. And that's one of the things that disgusts me about Trump, is that he's such a base character. He walks in the room and he cheapens it. He's like a bad gold watch. I mean, generally, yes. The problem is if one is aligned to... They're both suck, right? Democrat, Republican. I'm neither. They both suck. The thing that's so disturbing, though, about the right now is how regressive they are, how anti-science they've become. Out of spite, ignorance, and loyalty to coal and oil, they will hand off a world that is in such disrepair. And I find that truly reprehensible. The left will do different sins, right? But I feel like on the scale of more damaging, to the future, that the Republican Party is just so morally bankrupt right now, which is funny because they claim to be morally superior, and in fact they're just reprehensible. It's just a scramble for power in both of their cases. That's why I'm registered independent. I don't identify. I don't do identity politics. What I do is Woodside politics. Tony, you should run for office. Reno City Council. Then you can finally get that lathe. Fix your panel gap problem. It's a plague. It's a problem in the society. What we need is a panel gap inspection committee of people who measure the gaps between fenders and bonnets and say, you know what, this gap is acceptable. Yeah, it's horrible on both ends. I think I said that. I just think it's more horrible, right? If there's a scale, right, and a midpoint of horribleness, that midpoint isn't at the color gradient middle, right? That there's more red than blue on that scale right now. That's all I'm saying. They're both shit, but there's more red shit than blue shit on my windshield right now. Did I honk? I believe I did. 147, I've gone over. And I'm getting slippy. So what have we talked about today? Let's think. We talked about Reno. We talked about Oklahoma City history. We talked about scale of the universe a little bit because we're playing Elite. We've talked about random pitch changes and whatnot. And we talked about politics. And I just heard my family come home. So I'm probably going to shut the stream off. Tony, enjoy the new rig. I'll be back online soon. We've got 146 jumps to go to Colonia. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace. Common sense. Thomas Paine. See